My name is Matt Moyer. When I was a sophomore at Syracuse University, I took part in their study abroad program. I studied in London and was very interested in photography at the time and thought I might want to make a profession out of it. While I was there, I decided that I want to photograph coal miners in Wales. I had heard that they'd actually gone through quite a downturn. So I boarded a train and bought a ticket and just kind of headed out towards Wales. And I remember being exhilarated by the adventure of it. And when I finally arrived in Wales, I asked an older gentleman where I could find a working coal mine. He told me to transfer trains and get onto a smaller train and take it up into the mountains, and I followed his advice and got off at Taffmertha. I stepped off the train, I remember it pulled away, and I looked both directions and started to feel this panic. All I saw were train tracks going off all the way to the distance. The trees were out and the leaves had changed. It was beautiful, but I didn't know where I was going to stay that night. A light rain was falling, so I was starting to get wet, and I turned around and saw there was a hill that went up in a small trail. I followed that up, and I walked for quite some time. It was easily several miles. And when I arrived at the coal mine, it was just before dark, and it was raining. I was soaking wet, and I knocked on the door, and a gentleman let me in, and I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to use my camera. I wanted to photograph coal miners doing their job. They took me in, showed me great hospitality. They found me a place to stay. And the next morning, I went back to the coal mine and started photographing. And I photographed them above ground. I did portraits. I photographed them working. And then I went down into the mine. And I remember it vividly because it was Thanksgiving Day, 1991. And I spent the entire day 700 meters below ground photographing these men working on the coal face. Well, that experience and the realization that a camera, just this little box of metal and plastic and glass that lets light in, will open so many doors for you. And whether you're doing it as a photography student or whether you're doing it as somebody who's just doing a visual journal, it can really lead you down amazing paths. So it was really with that knowledge and then that experience that solidified my belief that I wanted to become a photojournalist. I've since done that and have worked for the New York Times throughout the world, including in Iraq, and I'm now working regularly for National Geographic magazine. That experience of not only studying abroad and traveling and the confidence that gives, but also using a camera as that backstage pass to life is really a remarkable thing. I still look back so many years later at these photographs that I took at Taffmertha, and I can remember specific things about that day. It's just like writing a journal, except it's a visual journal. It gives you these reminders, and it takes you back and transports you back to that experience that you had so long ago.